Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope that my audio and everything is coming through. I can't tell yet. Oh, it looks like I have audio. Okay. Yep, there's audio. Oh, what's up, guys? Oh, there's already like a whole chat going on before I'm even in here. I guess that's what happens when you schedule these things. Um, cool. Yeah, I can't tell. I can't like hear myself coming through with feedback, so I hope my audio is good. Someone tell me if it's not, and I'll hook up a mic or something. But this seemed easier. Sean T, Trevor, Tech Central Fishing, Drew MC68, Josh Wilson, the Stales. I don't know how to say that one. Biznich W. Audio good. All right. Thanks, John. Cool. The Stales, Thomas. You guys are awesome. Yeah. So it's technically just hit 8 o'clock. I think we are within the range of when I said that I would do this. I apologize in advance to Bob, the Knife Junkie, because I realized after I scheduled this for tonight is the only time I could make it work, that I'm pretty sure his live stream is still going. So I hope I'm not stealing people from him. 814, what's up, dude? Girl on the Edge, Mike Neeson. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, 11 o'clock for some of you guys. If it's late for you, I figured this will go up as a video after, so people who aren't up late tonight can watch it. But I had a busy day. I wasn't able to just hop on anytime. Yeah, so we're going to be giving away some stuff tonight. I'm excited about it. This is always one of the fun parts for sure. I have a root beer to celebrate as well. Today is my 1 year on YouTube, so that's fun. I did not imagine that at 1 year. I guess I hoped I would be past 5K subs, sure, but I didn't think that highly of myself that I'd actually be there. So we're here. This is fun. Yeah, so we're giving away all the good stuff. Thank you, everybody who's given me the congrats. Man, these are coming in way too fast for me to even pay attention to. You guys are super awesome. I tried, this is not me saying to do it, by the way. I'm never that kind of guy, but I did try turning on the super chat thing today for the first time, just because I've seen other people do that and I don't know how it works. I haven't gone live all that many times yet. I'll try to change that. But yeah, that's a thing. They told me to announce it when I started it. You're welcome, YouTube. Screaming Pirate asks if I still like. I do really like the Slim Pickens. I traded for this with Screaming Pirate. I don't think this is going to be a forever knife for me, just because I'm hunting some things down now, really a particular thing, and that might be one of the pieces that helps me get there. But I'll keep that a secret until I get it, what is coming. A few people I've already talked to about it, but I have a pretty fun knife on the hook that I got to sell a couple of things to fund. So shameless plug, if you are looking for a Combat Troodon bounty hunter, shoot me a message on Instagram. I have this switch broken in now. Way better. I can operate it one-handed repeatedly. That knife was like a bank vault when I first got it. But yeah, so Bell's Blades, yes, I was able to score a Cutlery Shop Shaman. I'm stoked about that. I actually also ordered in preparation for it when I saw that drop was coming. I've already got a couple sets of Shaman scales, and I've been trying to decide what I want to put on that one, if anything. So I got a clip for it, and I think I might put my Seafoam scales on it, the Tarot Tough ones from Fireside Co., because I took those off of my other Shaman, which isn't here. I should have grabbed my other case, because that now has Cerberus scales on it. But I got a set of like bronze hardware too, like bronze finished titanium hardware from Blades We Love. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play around with some Shamans now that I've got two of them, but I do have one coming. Girl on the Edge says, do I think I'm going to get a mini Arius when they come out? Absolutely. I imagine it is going to be really, really difficult to get one right when they come out. If I'm able somehow to, like, I don't know, use some kind of influencer powers to get one, no shame, I'll do that. I don't think that's really a thing on Koenigs. But yes, I will absolutely be trying for a mini Arius, because I've been saying for a long time that the Arius is my favorite knife in my collection. So I have to try the mini. We'll see if it's as good as the full size when that time comes. All right. Anyway, so let's get to the Mike Neeson. Appreciate it, buddy. I hope I'm saying Neeson right. Is that correct? He just did the super chat thing. Am I supposed to? I don't know if I click anything on there. I think it just shows that you're up there. You're my first super chat. Appreciate it, man. All right, so and start to pick some winners. I'll do a quick recap of what's in them so that people know what we're playing for tonight. I'll go ahead and just pull up a random comment picker here on my phone. That was scary. For a second, I thought that I had a not okay to share rendering of the Avant on my phone. This is my knife that's coming out, by the way. If you're not following Luft Concepts on Instagram, we've started sharing some teasers there. We just announced that Riat is going to be doing those builds, and we just ordered the prototypes. So that's really fun. Me and my buddy Ryan, he's the guy behind Rimmer Designs. Yeah, we've been hard at work on that. So it's coming true now, which is exciting. Anyway, I'm a scatterbrain. We are going to go ahead and show the prizes, and then we're going to pick some winners, and then I'll hang out for a little bit. And already 75 people watching. Holy balls. Yeah, I'll hang out for a little bit, and we'll see if anybody has questions. I'll just hang out and chat for a while. But let's share what people can win. So there were 2 packages of prizes. One includes the Cutlery Shop 20-slot knife case. Inside of here, there is, I didn't press the button. There are some goodies in here. So there's, courtesy of Cutlery Shop, some Tootsie Pops, some stickers, a flight tag, and then a bunch of these foam bits to stick in the holes if you're putting something short into these slots. I know there are a lot of jokes there, but I'm going to not make them tonight. Yeah, so that is a lot of fun. And then to go in this for the winner of it, close that. It's a loud pop. So knife case from Cutlery Shop. This is the 20-slot Cut Club knife case in black. And with that will be the Quiet Carry Drift. This is one of the brand new ones with thumb studs. And yeah, funny story about this. I was so jealous of whoever is going to win this because I adore this knife already. Haven't carried it or anything, but it's been sitting on my desk taunting me. And the other day, I messaged my buddy over at Quiet Carry, the guy behind it, and told him, hey, dude, I'm ready to just order one. Do you have any more of the knurled ones in stock? And he wouldn't let me pay for it. He sent me one. So I have one to unbox tonight after I do this, which is really, really cool of him. So one for you, one for me. Kudos to Quiet Carry for that. Super generous. So the first prize pack is the Cut Club 20-slot knife case and the Quiet Carry Drift. So some Vanex to start filling out your case. And then the other prize package is 2 things. The first one is a BGM fixed blade. I can't tell if that's backwards for you and me or if it's just backwards for me. And this is a full custom BGM fixed blade. This one is in 80 CRV2 that he has heat treated in-house to be 60 to 61 HRC. And it's really cool. This is actually really lucky for us, I suppose, that somebody commissioned him to do this build as a one-off custom, and then they backed out when he had the knife done. So he included it for my giveaway, which was really, really cool of him. It's got this awesome cord wrap on the handle, comes with really nice Kydex sheath. And the other part of that package is, of course, the TRM, Three Rivers Manufacturing, Amber Ale, Neutron 2. This is the new Neutron, if you will. And it's now got a deep carry clip, which speaks to my heart. And it has nested liners internally, which is really cool. So this is basically much more now like the Atom has been. The Atom has nested liners and a deep carry clip, and the Neutron didn't always. It's new for it to have that, and these are really tough to get right now. So super generous of them to send that from TRM. And of course, for each of the winners, I'll be including all of my stickers, my magnet, and all that. So we've got sticker, magnet, holographic sticker, holes is greater than stud sticker. And then I actually just got some of these in holographic as well. So there'll be one of those in there for each person too. And with the Quiet Carry, forgot to hold these up. There's some Quiet Carry stickers. So yeah, you can win the quiet carry with the Cut Club knife case or the TRM with the BGM fixed blade. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use a random comment picker. I'll just hold up my phone so you guys can see as I do it. And from there, let's see, I still have the menu from the place that I went for dinner up on my phone. Hold on. Random comment picker YouTube. So you guys are all, I guess you can tell what that even says. One random comment picker. Just the top one. This is the one that I always use. YouTube random comment picker. So what I'll need to do is snag the URL from my own video and plug it in. And I'm going to pick first for the quiet carry with the case, second for the TRM with the pike. And it'll make it much simpler in that way if I'm not like, and then the winners can pick which one they want, or both. Like we'll just one winner, two winner. So first winner will be for the quiet carry in the case. Second winner will be for the TRM and the BGM. All right, let's go. I've posted a lot of videos since that one. Here we go. 2 weeks ago. Share. Copy link. All right. The link is copied. We're going to plug it in here. Where are we? YouTube comment picker. There we go. So here's the spot for me to embed the URL. Pasted it there. We're going to filter for duplicate users. I'm not going to include replies to comments. I'm not going to filter comments based on any specific text. I'm not going to exclude any users or add any extra entries. So this is just all we're doing is filtering users. So yeah, holy crap, there's 126 people watching. This is bananas. I will talk about what I'm carrying and all this kind of stuff after I pick. There are some people here who just want to see who won. More power to them. I get. And even when this posts afterwards, people will watch it and they'll want to see who won. They won't want to watch like an hour in to find out. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start raffle and pick a random winner. Again, this first winner will be for the quiet carry and for the case, Cutlery Shop Cut Club knife case. Go ahead and hit start. Oh, it says please enter the URL. Oh, get YouTube comments. I skipped a step. Let's see how many there are. I didn't even count. 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Holy crap. Oh, 688 total comments. So we have 688 users, which means your chance is 1 in 344 because there are 2 packages. All right. So go ahead and hit. Oh, I clicked a link. Dang it. That was the wrong thing to do. All right. I accidentally clicked the pop-up. Rookie here. What do we got? All right, so the first winner is Limpeh, Limpeh. He said, nice work, Jake. Congrats on 5K. That is a comment that is capable of winning. So Limpeh, if that's you, I hope I'm saying that correctly. All you're going to want to do is email me. I actually have a Bearded Gear email now. So for both winners, you'll just email me. It's beardedgearmail@gmail.com. Or if you follow me on Instagram, shoot me a DM. I'll see that over there as well. And yeah, congrats to Lim for winning the quiet carry and the 20 slot Cut Club knife case from Cutlery Shop. Really, really cool. All right, now we're going to pick our second winner. So this will be for the TRM Neutron 2 and for the BGM Pike. Let's pick another winner. All right. This one is Video Supreme. He said, great vids, new fan here. Awesome. Glad to have you, Video Supreme. So if you are Video Supreme, then go ahead and shoot me a message via email or on Instagram, and you have just won a Three Rivers Manufacturing Neutron 2 and a BGM Pike. Or sorry, a BGM full custom fixed blade. The Pike is the one that I have. I always say Pike when I say BGM because that's the one I have. Anyway, so we have Video Supreme and Limpeh. I'm going to write these down so I don't forget. And that way I don't have to come back and watch my own video again like a weirdo. Limpeh and Video Supreme. Awesome. I'll probably have each of these people in some way like screenshot that they own this YouTube account, so that I know that it's actually them. All right. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. All right, so we've picked 2 winners, and we're losing viewers. I assumed that would happen. Anyway, I'm going to keep hanging out for a little bit if people want to chat. I see Kyle and Kevin are here, of course, my fanboys in the house. Yeah, somebody asked a little bit ago what I carried today. I carried 2 knives. I put one back in my case, but this is still in my pocket. This is, of course, the Rotten Design Evo 2.0 or Evolution 2.0 from CKF. And I freaking love this knife so much. It is the absolute best. Yeah, this is one of the first knives to come along in a long time that I think is worthy of a comparison with the Arius. And in a comparison video, I haven't scored it out yet. That will happen after I do this full review, which I've been putting off because I keep wanting to carry it. But I'm curious to see what this stacks up against the Arius like in one of my kind of head-to-heads. So that's going to happen. And then the other thing I carried today that I slipped back in my knife case because now I'm sitting on a wooden bench at my Nook thing is my Para 3, which now has some Cerberus skinny scales on it in this fish scale pattern, micarta, and it's got the pivot collar in like a burgundy micarta. Really cool. I'm digging this knife a lot in the skinny setup. I think it's probably going to stay like this for quite a while. Kyle and Kevin are making fun of each other in the comment section. Let's see. Sean says the gang's all here. Let's see. Jordan says that you're the reason he spent too much money on bearings. Yeah, Kevin, I think, is like the #1 purchaser and salesperson of Skiff bearings, and now Gillian bearings, or Jillian, I don't know how you say it. He just puts them in everything, even if the action is fantastic. He's like, yeah, let's throw bearings in it. I think he's even tried to like open up washer knives and see if he could fit bearings in them. Peter says, are they going to make a lefty Rockeye? I don't know. ProTech does make some lefty knives, but it seems like they just do it on some of their like really core models. So maybe if the Rockeye kind of becomes a core model, I don't know when they last sold the Rockeye, how well it did, whether they sat on shelves or whether they were quick movers or whatever. That was kind of before I even really knew about ProTech that they last made the Rockeye, I think. So yeah, I'd be curious to see. I think the Rockeye has the makings of becoming a really, really good model within their lineup because a lot of people like the SBR. And I, hands down, definitely like this better than the SBR. And I love the SBR. They're both great. Oh, Kyle, you're my hero too, buddy. I appreciate it, man. And I will always remember that you super chatted me before Kevin did, that you're the best friend in the Three Amigos. He's going to be so salty about that, Kevin is. Randy says he's got to go do dad things. Congrats again. I feel you, buddy. I'm doing dad things all the time. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, let's see. Are there any other questions in here? This comment section is going way too fast for me to see what's going on. Insider info on the knife that I'm making with Riat. I can talk about that a little bit. So because I have a partner on it, I specifically need to extra be careful because I always want to, like, we make decisions 50-50. So I don't want to just like start blasting out info about it before we're both ready to blast out info about it. And to be fair, I'm also the one who's kind of pumping the brakes a lot of the time because I don't want to share too much info too soon before the knife is even close to coming out because I want info to be kind of fresh when I feel like it should be. Did Kevin say he put bearings in his wife on a video or here? Oh, he said it in here. I tried putting bearings in my wife, but it didn't change the action. That is a thing that just happened. All right. But yeah, so for the Avant, which is the knife that's coming on left Concepts, the Instagram page, we've started sharing first just some kind of black and white 2D renderings, and then we've started sharing a couple of 3D portions of the rendering. Oh, 814, what's up, dude? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, buddy. He says hashtag also before Kevin. Yes, you were. I love it. Now Kevin's going to have to donate like $100 to make up for this. No, Kevin gives me plenty of stuff, like a driver with bits that don't work. Anyway, so for Left Concepts with the Avant, right now we have just paid for prototypes from Riyadh. So they have our money, they're making them. That is a thing that's actually happening now, which is great. And I'm really excited for that. I'm hoping in 4 or 5 weeks, I'll have prototypes here. Once those prototypes are here, then the information should start to become way more free-flowing at that point. Right now, the renderings that we have and that we're starting to share are already a little bit outdated because we're making some adjustments as we're working with Riyadh to perfect it for their process, and as we're just like kind of rethinking things as it gets closer. So like, yeah, we've made a couple of key little decisions of small things that'll change just detail wise. So as we share these original renderings, bear in mind that they're renderings. But yeah, pretty soon we'll be ready to show. We have like a video 3-dimensional clip of the rendering in motion, opening and closing, stuff like that. Yes, we did already do the giveaway, Chaz. It happened. Limpe was the first winner, and Video Supreme was the second winner. All right, yeah, so more info will come soon, I guess is the best way to say it. And once we have those prototypes in hand, then I'll also be doing a podcast episode with Ryan, who's my partner on the project. And if you want to check him out on Instagram, his main account that he uses for EDC stuff is Rimmer Designs. Some of you might know him because he makes little like worry donuts with like glow materials and brass and all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, Lefty. Oh, man. Lefty donated $25 and said, winner, winner, chicken dinner. And then Kyle followed right up and said, with a $10 donation, that whoever donates the most will get a free knife and On the Edge mug. Go. That is way too generous on my behalf. I don't know why he's fundraising for me, but thank you, both of you. Kyle and Kevin are genuinely some of my, not just best friends in like the knife world at this point, but some of my best friends, period, with how much we talk, how much we know about each other. And they're real dudes. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, so the knife project is super exciting. We're at the stage now where we're talking about like packaging details and yeah, just a lot of the little things that go along with it. And it's so much fun to be in the part of the process right now where like, I don't know. I spend a lot of my time and mental energy thinking about knives and other people's designs and other people's packaging and other people's business structures and all these things. And it's real easy, obviously, as somebody who's never actually been on the business side of it, to judge someone else's business decisions. So it's fun now being in the driver's seat and actually having full autonomy to decide how this is going to go for us with our knife company and creating something out of it. And I'm hoping that it's going to be really cool and it will resonate with people. But I don't want to be over cocky about it for sure. So yeah, that's coming up. What's the he said prize range, Chicago 23. I assume he means price range. Right now, don't hold me to this because there are too many moving targets at the moment to know exactly what our price will be, but we'll probably be in the mid 200 range, somewhere around the $250 mark. It could be plus or minus 25, $30. It depends on a few things. There's so many people talking about the EVATAC in the comment section tonight, which is hilarious. If you're not familiar with the EVATAC, it is the best EDC knife ever, according to their branding efforts and their marketing campaign on YouTube. I've started to see it sometimes when I'm watching other people's videos as like the ad between, which is hilarious. Kevin bought one because their marketing worked on him. He has a feeble mind. The EVATAC Shadow Ranger. Yeah, pretty hilarious. Let's see. Any other questions in here? 81480C says, what's the free knife? I assume he's talking to D2M Knives and Gear. I'll tell you what, I will pitch into that as well, since this is on my thing, unless it's Kevin who wins with this $25 thing. In addition to the mug that they send you and whatever free knife that Kyle is talking about, I will also let the winner pick one of my t-shirts. I have Bearded Gear shirts on my Teespring. I link it under all of my videos. I don't try to promote it way too much, but there's a few different options of Bearded Gear t-shirts, and I own most of them, and they're pretty nice. I think Kevin actually owns all of them because he is really my biggest fan. And yeah, they're pretty decent t-shirts. So whoever wins that, if that happens, then I'll include one of my t-shirts for that as well. Drake Pitts says, what else am I carrying today other than my knives? That's a good question. So in my pockets, honestly, nothing besides my phone. I am full steam ahead on the fanny pack game. So in my fanny pack, which I had anytime I left the house today, which was really just once, but we went out to do a family walk and we got dinner and took some content for my wife. I had my fanny pack, which in it has my Artisan Sea Snake, the Mike Emler design. It's a little pretty small kind of EDC fixed blade. Also comes with paracord on it, so you can wear it as a neck knife, but I've kept that in there. And then in that, there's also my wallet, my AirPods, a lighter. There's my Vero Mini Fulcrum multi-tool. There's 2 Renegade EDC Hanks and a flashlight. There might be 2 flashlights in there at the moment because I've been comparing flashlights a lot lately. Yeah, just a bunch of random odds and ends, and that all lives pretty much in my fanny pack all the time. Unless I'm just going somewhere real quick or trying to be extra like lightweight for a moment, then I'll just snag my wallet out of it and like maybe my AirPods or a small flashlight and put those in my pockets with my phone and my primary and secondary knife. And but yeah, most days at this point, I just bring my fanny pack with me everywhere that I go. 814EDC says, am I going to start selling lighters? That's not the plan. I ordered those Bic lighters just because I got an ad in my stories that you could like put your picture or logo on a Bic lighter and get a 6-pack of them. And so I did because it was like not that expensive and just kind of funny. So I have these. Oh, what's up, Gavin? Thanks, buddy. Gavin, I miss you, man. We used to talk in that group chat way much more than we do now. And it needs to happen again. But yeah, so I had those lighters made, and I've started using one of them because they're mine, right? Oh, what? Lefty EDC sent me $15 and told me now I can buy my very own Evatac Shadow Ranger. So now I have to. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is with those lighters. Part of me would love to just like send them to a couple of buddies and just like let some friends have them. I don't know how that works shipping, because you do always like click that you're not sending anything like a battery or like fluid or whatever, and those are lighters. They have lighter fluid in them. So I don't know how that works. I'll look into whether it's actually easy to ship a Bic lighter or not. If it's easy to ship them, then I'll just send them to a few buddies. Anyway, RIP the chat, says Gavin. Yeah, I mean, we still talk in there every now and then, but it's not like it used to be ever since Ace stopped being active. Let's see. Jeremiah Daniels says, what are some skiers or types of genres to suggest collecting? I'm on the operator kick for sure. Steels, aesthetic, brands, blade shapes. I am not totally sure what that question means. If you're looking for operators, I did just decide as part of my, as part of my efforts to amass the amount of money I need for the knife I'm trying to buy right now, I will be selling my SNG operator. So hit me up in the DMs, Jeremiah, if that's what you mean. Oh, what series? I just saw your second question. What are some series or types or genres to suggest collecting? I still don't know what you mean by suggest collecting. Like series of knives or genres of knives? I don't know. A lot of people are really into like collecting Spydercos. Oh, Paul, thanks so much, dude. Paul says he'll take Kyle's field duty. I don't think that is the the knife he's planning on giving away, if I just have a hunch. But but maybe we'll see. Thank you so much, man. I think Paul is the current leader then, if Kevin doesn't count and Kyle doesn't count. Otherwise, he'd be tied with Kyle. 814ADC says, what the heck are you buying? I mean, part of me wants to keep it a secret. I guess now we're a half hour in, so a lot of people probably won't watch this deep because it's my giveaway video. I have a line on a Holt Haptic, and it's going to cost me a significant amount of money. So I have to move like puzzle pieces, the knives, to make the funds appear in my account to pull the trigger on that, which is nice. I've got a buddy who's willing to wait a little bit for me to do that. So I've got a few days, but in the next couple of days, I'm going to be listing a few things. So like the Combat Troodon Bounty Hunter, because this thing, these retailed for like $760, which is ridiculous. Kyle, thank you so much, dude. You got to stop. He's just trying to not be beat by Paul, I guess, in his own contest that he's providing the prizes for. But yeah, so I'm selling the Combat Troodon. I will not be asking what these cost brand new because I'm the second owner, and I don't know if they're even holding that on the secondary. But I was thinking about $650 for this, which is like $110 off of what they cost new, and should be fun. So there's that. But I need to finish my full review on that. So hopefully I can get that filmed tonight, and then I can list it. And yeah, I'm going to sell the ProTech Operator SNG. Probably going to sell the Alliance Designs Mini Slim Pickens, even though I've really enjoyed that knife. I mean, these are all knives that are fun, but and then what else was there? I think I'm going to sell my Bradford Guardian 3 just because I haven't carried it in forever. And I put it in my notes earlier. I'm also going to sell probably my ProTech SBR. I have the River's Edge Cutlery exclusive one. It's not in this case, with the partially coated blade. And then I'm going to sell the UTX 70 that I have, which that one's a user, and it's got some like damage on the coating on the blade. So I'll let that go for cheap. Plus it's partially serrated. Jordan C says, how much do you want for the ProTech? For the SNG, if that's the one you're talking about, probably just $280, what they cost new, because it's in fantastic condition. You can't tell I was here on this thing, and they're difficult to come by. So I'm not going to mark it up, but I'll just try to get out of it what I'm in it for. Drake Pitts says, how much for the Guardian 3? I was thinking for the Guardian 3, I have the one that's in M390 with the wood and G10 stacked handles. And I was looking online. I feel like they're only available. The only places I could find old listings was for like $170, probably like $150, $140 for the Guardian 3. I'd be happy because I've carried it and used it. But it's in awesome shape. Thomas Owens says, am I selling the Arius? Absolutely not. No, no, I'm not selling the Arius. I'm kind of in this fit partially because of talking to Thomas on the podcast the other day. And I've just been thinking recently, like, I have so many knives that I love but never get to carry because I'm constantly reviewing new things. And so, I don't know, I just want to chase some knives like the Holt Haptic where it's like, ooh, I really, really want to try one of those. And I normally wouldn't let myself get something that expensive. It'll be the most expensive knife I've ever bought by far. But if I just sell a couple of these things that I love, but I'm not really carrying, then I get to experience that. And so it makes it kind of simple. And yeah, all right. And Jordan C says he wants one, but he also wants to wait for a PT to pop up because he'd rather have a manual. Jeremiah asks if I still have the Anthem, and I don't. I actually traded the Anthem to Screamin' Pirate for the Mini Slim Pickens. So that's where that is. Patrick says, so just email you for the SNG. Yeah, you can email me if you want, beardedgearmail@gmail.com, or yeah, DM me on Instagram and we can talk there. That's totally easy. Yeah, let's see. Jeremiah says, dope. I can see that. Good call. Yeah, that was a trade deal that just kind of made sense for me. I loved the Anthem. It was fantastic, but I didn't feel like I don't know. It was one of those things that I liked, but wasn't finding myself reaching for all that much. Let's see. I feel like I'm probably missing a bunch of stuff in this comment section. Make sure I didn't miss anybody who did a super chat for sure. No, we're good. Alex says super heavy duty fanny pack with a Cobra buckle. I don't know if he's talking about my fanny pack or if he's saying he's got a fanny pack like that. All right. Yeah, Patrick D says he's got a TR3 operator that needs a friend. The TR3 operators are really cool. I've actually never even owned a ProTech TR3. In fact, I haven't had any of their like TR series knives because they make the TR3, the TR4, or the TR5. I don't know if there's a 4. But yeah, I've handled a couple. I think they're really cool. One thing that I'm finding though is like I have a few ProTechs right now. In fact, I've got a whole row in my knife box here, and there's one or two others. And between the Malibu and the Mordax, I just don't personally find myself reaching for the autos because I love the ability to just have the knife drop closed too. And the action on these are so freaking fun that it's like, I don't know. The manuals or the autos are great, but I just prefer the manuals personally. Not even like a legality thing. I'll carry the crap out of the autos. Um, let's see. Is the new Arius? I think he's meaning does the new Arius have a titanium pivot now in 2021? I'm not sure. Mine was from, I don't know when this was born. I'd have to look. I want to say this was in early 2019. This is a Gen 4. Gen 4 batch 1. Yeah, I don't know if the new ones do have a titanium pivot. That would be awesome because that would mean that you could anodize all of the hardware. And I know a lot of people want to do that. I would like it if mine had a pivot that matched the rest of the hardware. But yeah, I'd kind of like to just get like all blacked out hardware for this, frankly. I think that would be really cool. If the lanyard whole thing back here and all the hardware was black, I'd like that. Get kind of a two-tone thing going. Yeah, Jordan C says he wishes that new Elementum still had the flipper. I agree. I do not understand why they would make a button lock that's just a button. I mean, I get that you can just press the button and do this, but it seems like such a miss to not, unless the detent just wouldn't have worked with it and they like tried that first and they're like, oh, this detent is way too soft for a flipper. Everyone's going to hate us for it. Let's just have you do this. Then maybe that's the reason, but I don't know. Terry says that there's going to be a blacked out Arius at USA Made Blade in a couple of weeks. That is tempting. That's one of those things like I see fancier Ariuses, areolas. That's the second time I've made that joke now after my podcast. I've seen fancy ones quite a lot, and they're real tempting because they look cooler than mine. But this one is also like my user one that I'm like bonded with at this point, and I don't need a second one. I'm not gonna like having two isn't gonna do anything for me, other than I'll just want to look at the other one. But I know I probably won't keep it. So let's see. 81480C says, for the contest, is it the most that someone donated at one time, or is it containing multiple super chats? I think multiple super chats. I mean, Kyle's the one who put on the contest, so I guess you have to talk to him. He says total, not including me and Lefty from Kyle. So yes, you can donate multiple times according to Kyle's arbitrary rules. Again, thank you, Kyle. It's way too generous that you've done that. Yeah, let's see. I think blade is normal, but hardware and scales are blacked out. Not 100% sure on the blade. Oh, that's interesting too. See, I have seen lately Koenig sharing pictures of their new DLC. I don't know if they switched providers for it or what happened there, but they've got a new DLC process and it looks really, really good. Like they're using like proper DLC. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's like different types of DLC at the end of the day. Like the DLC that ProTech is using is pretty good. I like their DLC, but this is like it's a coating, right? As DLC kind of should be. All this KPL coming out of here. DLC stands for Diamond Light Coating, right? So that makes sense. But if you look at DLC as done by like Hinderer, when Hinderer has DLC, it's different. It's like you can still see the grinds. It's like a much thinner film, and it seems like it's more kind of like adhered into the structure of the metal, if that makes sense, of the steel. And so from what I can see in photos, Koenig's new DLC looks that way. It looks like it's a much better DLC than they used to be using. That's not from me using it and comparing it or anything. Just aesthetically, I think that DLC looks really good when you can still see the details of the steel underneath it. It's like a thinner film. Kind of reminds me almost of like the Chavez blacked out 229 that I had, although that was PVD. But PVD always kind of seems like a thinner film to me, and maybe that's why I make it think of it. Yeah, Terry says he has a Battle Black XM18 Skinner, and the DLC is lighter. Yeah, I think the way they do that too is they use like a proper DLC, and then for the Battle Black, they like stonewash it after, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Lefty says, "Save your money, Alex. You need it for college textbooks, not for whatever random knife an idiot like Kyle picks to give you." It's probably a good point. Yeah, I think currently Paul is in the lead, if I'm not mistaken. Paul Windmiller is crushing it right now at 15 in his donations. Again, thank you so much to everybody who did that. I always feel super weird asking for things. Like I don't know, like even making my Patreon was a weird step for me. I will be doing a Patreon giveaway soon for if any of my Patreon patrons are in here. That should be fun. Yeah, so I don't know. Does anybody have any more questions? Dude, another $10. Paul, holy balls, man. I appreciate it so much. Hope it helps get the haptic. Absolutely. Every little bit right now helps helps to get the haptic for sure. Yeah, thank you so much, man. That means a lot. Drew Becker says, "How come no Balisongs on the channel? Balisong world is always growing. Good way to get more subs." That may be part of why my knife flip how-to video has so many views, because in like the keywords there's like knife tricks, and so maybe a lot of Bally boys are checking that out. I don't have anything against Balisongs personally. They just don't really interest me that much. And not every knife has to totally serve a fully like utility purpose to me. I do like to fidget with my knives. But I just feel like there's like no utility to the type of knife that a butterfly knife is at the end of the day. Like Balisongs, I don't know. I've had cheap ones before and they're fun to play with for a few minutes, but I've never really gotten super into it. I may at one point, like if BRS wants to get buddy with me and hook me up on one, then maybe I'll get one. But the idea of spending some of my knife budget, like selling other knives to fund a Balisong, to me, just I don't know. I don't like them enough, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. Drew says he likes Balisongs better than OTFs, and that's totally fair. I think OTFs also have very little utility compared to most out the side folding knives. But yeah. Jeremiah says, Chavez talked about new knives with not only the skull clips. I happen to know much more about that. I don't talk to Ramon, so I don't have any insider info on that. I have seen he did post on his Facebook page that it got screenshotted and sent to me a bunch of times. He posted like a breakdown of all the knives he's planning to release for 2021. That was pretty cool. And yeah, they're going to have skull clips and a non-skull clip that come with the knife now, which I think is a solid move on his part, because the people that love the skull clips can still have it. And there's a lot of them. Like the skull clip ended up at the end of me having Chavez the second time. Like it didn't really bother me so much anymore. I'd kind of gotten used to it. But if I had both in the box, I'd probably keep the one that's not a skull on the knife. I still don't prefer the skull. And so I think that opens him up to a lot more, like just a much wider market of people who will be willing to carry that knife and will be interested in buying it in the first place. Because I know a lot of people who have never bought a Chavez, and if they had to pinpoint a reason why, I'd be willing to bet it's because they hate the skull clip. So yeah. Kevin's trying to shill for KPL in the comment section, saying to use his code for a discount, Lefty10. There you go, 10% off. I assume that's what Lefty10 means on a bottle of KPL. I actually really like KPL. I just today, I haven't carried this ZT since it came in, only because I have other stuff I'm working on and because there's parts coming in for it that I'm waiting for. But I did today. I was fidgeting with it for a few minutes at my desk, and I dripped a little KPL in it, and I put some KPL heavy on the detent ball, and it pretty immediately got quite a bit better. KPL I've been using now on everything for, I don't know, at least a year. John Evans says KPL tastes better. I don't know how it tastes, but I know that it smells really good. And that does, I mean, it's nice when you're working on knives. Get a little whiff of vanilla. Kyle says Chavez clip for life. Patrick says she just turned 18. Who just turned 18? Did I miss something? Got a Microtech Dragonfly Bally. I didn't know Microtech made balisongs, but apparently it's been 18 years. Or maybe he's talking about how he gave his Elementum to his daughter and she just turned 18. I don't know which it is. Maybe he has an 18-year-old knife. Maybe he has an 18-year-old daughter. I don't know. Drew asks if my Mordax pivot comes loose. It hasn't on this one. I did loosen it intentionally at one point, just to kind of adjusting the action. I need to get some of this KPL out of here. The only thing that I've had to do on this Mordax has been adding KPL because my button started to stick. And that's just kind of the nature of this mechanism, the way it's been explained to me from ProTech, especially like in transit sometimes. If it's going through a bunch of different temperatures, it can do stuff to their internal lube. And this button is supposed to be lubricated the way that it works. So that's kind of cool. Patrick says, daughter's 18, knife a little younger. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any knives that I've had for, no, I have knives that I've had for 18 years. That's not true. I just don't. They all sit in like a box up in my closet. Nothing that's noteworthy that's that old. Terry says he got a Journeyman from Something Obscene that was customized by Fanatic Edge, and it's really nice. I actually haven't owned anything from Something Obscene yet, and I like some of them, especially, what's it called, the J-Cape. That one is, if I was going to get a Something Obscene, definitely the one I'd be going for. Kevin says he Loctited his Mordax. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'll get a knife that just has a pivot that wants to wander, and then you got to Loctite it. And other times I'll have them that just like never seem to, and other people will tell me on that model theirs wandered. Sometimes I'll have one that everyone says never wanders, and it will. It's just one of those things where like at a certain point when you go through enough knives, a little bit of blue Loctite can become one of your best friends. Like my Waypoint is one. Quiet Carry Waypoint I've had to Loctite each time that I've disassembled it, because now I've had it apart twice, I think. And yeah, if I don't Loctite it, then it starts to wander, which can kind of become a problem. And that's just the way it goes. But all right. Terry says he thinks that they're Wii produced. I assume you're talking about the Fanatic Edge knives. I don't know where they have their knives made. It seems like it could be for Wii. Drew says he Loctited his as well on the Mordax. Blade is too heavy, to be honest. Malibus are perfect. I agree. So the Malibu, people ask me a lot when I post the Mordax and stuff. They're like, oh, which do you prefer, the Mordax or the Malibu? For sure. For me, it's the Malibu. It's just snappier. The action is like, I don't know. It's noticeably better to me. I have seen quite a few people that have sent their Mordaxes out and have them reground. And I've considered, I might send mine to John at BGM Knives and have him make this a little thinner behind the edge, remove some stock. That will ruin the blacked out nature of this one, but it'll make it way better to actually cut with, because it is a little thick behind the edge. And this one's a forever knife anyways. My wife got this for me for Valentine's Day this year. So this one's staying. It's not going anywhere. So modding it isn't out of the question at all. I don't need to worry about like, will the next buyer care that it's been reground or, you know. But yeah, I've handled them that have been reground and they still flick really well. They don't necessarily drop shut quite as well, but they still drop shut. You know, it's just not as like guillotine drop shutty. So I'll probably reach out to John soon and see if he'll do that for me. Andrew Adams says, did the raffle already happen? Just got here. Who won? It did. The winner of the case and the drift was Lim Pe, and then the winner of the TRM and the BGM was Video Supreme. Mark Mesger, what's up, dude? Good to see you here, man. I'm surprised people are still jumping on. I'm gonna feel bad if I found out that Thursday Night Knives for Bob the Knife Junkie was low in attendance tonight. I didn't mean to do this at the same. Lefty EDC says he's not a JCape expert. I don't think Lefty EDC is an expert on anything, if we're being objective here. So, I mean, he'll give you advice, but he's not the person I would advise you to get advice from. Just kidding. I take advice from Lefty EDC sometimes, every now and then. He's a smart guy. I just like to rag on his intelligence a little bit. Jeremiah Daniel says you need to do more live streams. Yeah, I dig it. This is fun. I'm happy to do this kind of thing more often. I don't know if making it like a total weekly thing will work for my schedule to like have it be at the same time every week, especially now that I'm podcasting too, because I record my podcasts at night a lot of the time. But maybe I'll just make a point to at least once a month or a couple of times a month, like let people know ahead of time and hop on and do a live, because this is a good time. John Evans says, congrats to the winners. For real, congrats to the winners. If none of you, or if any of you haven't had Henry Weinhardt's root beer, by the way, this is the real deal. Alex Rosa says, will I ever get a Chris Reeves Sabenza or a Zan? No, no, I will not. Lefty EDC says, intelligence, tell them the magnet story. Okay, so first the magnet story, then we'll come full circle to Chris Reeve Knives, I suppose. So Kevin and I ordered magnets from Sticker Mule at about the same time. And he got really frustrated when his came in. He thought they were faulty because they would not stick to his truck, which he said to me and Kyle. He's like, they won't stick to it, and it's aluminum. They're supposed to stick to it. And I had to explain to him that aluminum does not work for magnets. Now, bear in mind, this was the day after, or shortly after, he had been telling us, I think it was on my podcast, you were talking about it or something on the edge. I think this was before On the Edge. You were talking about how you just gotten the new Olight O bulb and you were trying to stick it to stuff, and you like were having the hardest time figuring out what magnets could possibly stick to. And he's like trying walls and stuff like they might be metal. Like it's remarkable that Kevin, as a grown man, can't figure out what magnets will stick to. And it is a Ford. He drives an F-150. But yes, so on my Honda CRV, this sticks to the tailgate. I tested that. It's steel or iron. Magnets will stick to, turns out, in case any of you didn't know. Anyways, the Chris Reeve question. I don't know if that was a jab at how much you know that I don't particularly like that brand, or if you're actually curious, which is fair. I'm not everybody has to know my whole history. No, I will not be trying or buying a Chris Reeve knife of any sort unless they make some pretty radical changes, or unless I change pretty radically, which is fair too. That may eventually happen. I'm not going to say that I am determined to hate them. In fact, I don't hate the brand at all. I'm just massively confused by the way that they market themselves and their knives as if they are cutting edge and the pinnacle of current knife technology, because they are 15 plus years behind, in my opinion. Nice knives. Not even going to say that they can't charge what they want to charge. I've got a whole like 3-hour plus podcast on the subject of Chris Reeve knives. And I think they need to dramatically change the way that they talk about their knives, and they need to brand them as knives from a certain era that are still being made that way really well. And I'd be fine with that. But yeah, you're not going to catch me paying even half of what they cost for what they are personally. Lefty says magnets are complicated. Yes. Drew says he wants that TRM Shadow bad. The Shadow is awesome. I did just put the O-rings on here. This is my first time doing this to any knife, and I like it. I do find I tried putting them on my Atom as well. On the Atom, I didn't like it because on the like the middle finger flick side for me, the clip side, it just rams into the edge of the G10 a little bit, and it just doesn't quite like feel right to me on there, but on here, it makes middle finger flicking way better. And that's the way I open this knife a lot of the time. For thumb flicking, it's great. And I know Kevin, Lefty EDC, tried these because he had this problem with when he'd pull the knife out of pocket, the stud was catching, and it was like Emerson wave deploying on him, basically. And so when he told TRM about that, they recommended that he try some of the O-rings. He got some, and I was like, I've been meaning to try those forever. I'll order some too. I actually ordered one of their hats too. I haven't worn it yet because it's like so obnoxiously blue. But I'll be wearing that every now and then. It just wouldn't go with like this. Anyways, I ordered 2 sets of these O-rings to try out, and I'm kind of liking them. I'll be doing a head-to-head. Once I finish the review on this, I'll do a comparison between it and the Atom, because I think it's a worthy comparison. I think a lot of people would probably be logically trying to decide between these 2 knives. Mick the Shadow is out. It's just really, really difficult to get so far. They're just trickling them out. They're only making kind of a few at a time. They're making as many as they can, but it's a brand new model for them, and they're still kind of getting it down. So the way I've seen it, they're just kind of doing like little micro drops unannounced on their site every few days or week or so. They're just like trickling some out, and they're not announcing when. And yeah, they're really, really tough to get, but they are out. Yeah, so both these knives are like super slicey, similar overall size. They're both pretty thin, although the Atom is definitely thinner. I don't know. I think being different lock types, being from the same maker, being relatively close in price point to one another, like I think it's worth kind of comparing these two. So I will do that after I finish the review on it, because I want to make sure I do the full review. Rusty says, late her, but hello. I'm not, was that supposed to be late here? Or like later, but hi, because that would be hilarious to just pop in and be like, see you later, guys. Hi. Rusty, you're awesome, dude. Appreciate you showing up. Let's see. Everyone loves some Roland in the house. Hero Sticks says, anyone score a spot on the OZ Machine Company books this week? I did. Sound off in the comments if you did as well. I know a lot of people that tried, and only 1 or 2 others that were able to get one. I finally started wearing my Oz Machine Company shirt because I feel weird wearing shirts for things that I don't own. And now that I'm on the books, I feel like I already own one. So yeah, I've got a Roosevelt book spot, which I'm really excited about. Hero Sticks, do you have a Roosevelt? Because I was not aware that you owned one. I would be real impressed if you do. Yeah, when I had a loaner Roosevelt, that was eye-opening for me how good that knife actually is for my preferences. I don't think it's like everybody's ultimate EDC, but for me, it's just fantastic. So I'm stoked that I've got one. Kyle says he tried, but no luck. To be honest, Kyle, you were on a live trying from your phone, drunk, late. And I don't think that was I don't think it's proper to say that you tried there. Mike says, how's that little Finch Holiday treating you? I love the Finch Holiday. Oh, it's in my other knife case. I constantly go back and forth between the Holiday and the 1929 as being my favorite Finch knife. It's just really hard for me to decide which one I ultimately like more. They're both so good. And I don't know. Those two feel like they should like be packaged in a set. I think that would be rad if Finch offered like a wooden box set, like all Western themed, and you had a Holiday and a 1929 in it together with the same like matching scales. I'm going to pitch that to Spencer because that should definitely happen. Those knives feel like they go together, and yeah, they're both really, really good. But the Holiday is sweet. Brody says, my Shaman should be in my hands tomorrow. Didn't realize Cutlery Shop was in Idaho just down the road. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I actually haven't checked the tracking on mine. I did do faster shipping, and I got the shipped notification, but I haven't clicked on tracking number. Let's see, shall we, when that's coming. Here it is. Order status has changed. Open. Expected delivery by Monday, the 29th. So a few days out for my Shaman, but I'm excited when we'll get here. Owen Hunt says, just got here. May I ask who won? Yes. The winners were Limpe and Video Supreme. So, yeah, hopefully those guys email me or message me. Otherwise, I'll be picking somebody else at some point. Hero Sticks, I just realized I asked if you have a Roosevelt, and it doesn't look like you got one. You said went quick. Not yet. Okay, I'm assuming that means you didn't get one. All right, cool. Let's see. Jordan says he's got a 640 coming this week, and he's kind of pumped for that. Yeah, dude, it's a cool knife. Oh, thanks so much, Hero Stick. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, this is a very fun ZT. I've owned quite a few ZTs at this point. I like the brand, honestly, and this one feels, I don't know, it's one of the beloved models at this point, I think. Like when I post about this knife anywhere, I'm a little bit surprised how many people I just see like constantly like, oh, I love my 640, one of my favorite knives. And I had seen a lot of people comment about it, but I don't feel like I'm still seeing that. It was kind of like when it came out, it was really hot for a second, but people still carry and use and love these a lot for a model that's been out for a little while now. I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years or something. But yeah, this is going to be fun. I've got different thumb disc, different scales, different clip, all on the way for it. And it'll be a lot of fun, I think, once it's all put together. Lefty EDC says he's a telemarketer. I don't know what you're talking about, man. 814DC says he can't wait for the Devil's Finger to come out from Finch. I agree. That one looks awesome. I love that they're pretty cool about like hinting about their knives coming pretty well. Like they'll talk about it a little bit and they'll put it on their site and they'll do a few teasers, but they usually don't start that too early. Like the knives are actually pretty close when they start that. And they're not really like blasting it until it's real close. And so I like that they just like put out these little kind of teasers as time goes on. Stern says, did I get sharp dress scales for the 640? I did. In fact, I don't think they're quite done yet. I'll check in with him, but he had just gotten some new material in when I hit him up about it. And so I think he's working on making the sets that I'm putting on. I'm not going to say what color yet, but I'll say they're going to be fat carbon, which will be a lot of fun. I haven't owned anything in fat carbon yet somehow, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, I'll be getting some fat carbon scales for it, a thumb disc that'll be cool, and a Lynch clip because the Lynch clips seem unanimously to be kind of the ones to go for on that model based on what people have told me, at least. All right, let's see. What scales did I get for it? Just talked about that. Jordan says he got an 0562 tie already. Yeah, I had a 562 carbon fiber, the CF one, and mine was modded when I got it from some dude on Reddit, and it had a added forward finger choil, so it was like a proper XM18 basically, and it even had like an XM18 hardware kit added to it, which was pretty rad. That was back when I kind of first like got on Instagram in the knife hobby that I got that knife, and that was a lot of fun. Mark Mesger says fat carbon with a question mark. If you're not familiar with what fat carbon is, basically it's carbon fiber with like some type of acrylic material in it that can either be like, it can be colored, right? So a lot of the time they'll do like green or yellow or blue or white or red or orange or like these really bright colors kind of layered in the carbon. And it's not like woven carbon. It's like stacked sheets of kind of like sporadic carbon. I don't know. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try some of it. It kind of, in some ways, frankly, defeats the purpose of carbon fiber in a lot of ways because it's not really that light anymore. Like the last time I was hanging out with Chris from Cerberus, we were at the machine shop that he uses, and they had a sheet of fat carbon there, and it was like, oh, this is kind of heavy, which like carbon fiber is meant to be a really light material, but it looks really cool. So I'm not getting it to make the knife lighter. I just think it looks rad. Let's see. Oh, Stern says he put a bug out clip on his 640 and that it works great. That might be something worth trying, actually. This factory clip is atrocious. I tried. That's another part of why I haven't carried it yet. I put it in pocket for like a minute, just like to see how it went in and out of pocket. This is one of the worst factory pocket clips I've ever experienced. It is so shallow. There's like no lip to get under it. It's very, very poorly designed. And I think this is basically the same knife that comes on like the 308, which I also have. But I think on the 308, they updated it and they made the bends a little bit more dramatic from what I've heard. Plus, when I got the 308, I bought it from Adam Purvis with one of his custom titanium clips already on it, which that may end up, I don't know, depending on how this build goes, maybe I'll put that titanium clip on here and see what it looks like. I'll steal it from my 308 because that's a cool clip. I just thought of that. That might be fun. But yeah, the Lynch clips are great. I have this clip coming for it because this is the Lynch clip that fits it. And so I've got one on the way. I know that already shipped. It might even be in the mailbox now. But yeah, the other day I just ordered 1 or 2 Lynch clips, and I ordered like 3, I think, MXG gear clips because I was just like making an order for clips for either stuff that I've got or stuff that I just want to have for the next time I get something it'll fit. Yeah, deep carry is the way to go. Let's see. When's the Micarta PM2 coming out? Anyone know? Says Drew Becker. I'm not sure. Spyderco is interesting in the sense that they made the change. I remember it happening when they went from doing like an annual, like these will be our products for the year, doing an annual product release, to doing a quarterly one. And their reasoning behind that was because the annual ones, a lot of people were getting frustrated when they would announce a knife and people would be like, great, I'm going to start saving up for that. I'm going to make sure I'm ready for it. And it wouldn't come out for 11 months, sometimes 13 or 14 months if they were late. Like sometimes it would be like literally in the next year that it would come out. And so it was like, why are you announcing these things that are so far off? And I remember being frustrated in that same way when the Smock was first like announced. I was like, oh, I gotta get that. It's a button lock with a hole and a flipper, cool design, like looked pretty radical. I was stoked about the Smock. And then it seemed like forever before that knife came out. So then they switched and they went to a quarterly announcement schedule. So they announce the knives that are supposed to come out within that quarter, but they missed the mark. Like in over 3 months ago, because they've done another one since then, they announced the Z-Wear Shaman, which did finally come out, but was late. They announced one that still hasn't come out also is the, what's it called? The Lil Native in S90V and carbon fiber. That one was announced when the Z-Wear Shaman was, and that one still hasn't come out. And yeah, sometimes they take longer than they're supposed to. So it should be within 3 months of when they make those announcements. But I don't know. The interesting thing to me about that PM2 is that it's not going to be nested liners. In order to do the micarta, which Eric Glesser talks about this when he was on the Millie show, the Millie Club show, they call it FFIB. It's on YouTube if you look on the Millie Club page. It's called the Millie PM2 Para 3 Club on YouTube. They interviewed Eric Glesser and they talked to him about it. And basically, because micarta is more brittle than G10, they have difficulties machining it. And so in order to make the knife as structurally sound as they want it to be at Spyderco, they decided to do full liners instead of nested liners. And that should make like aftermarket scales, in theory, real easy to make for that knife. But what's interesting is that I assume a lot of the parts won't match. Some of them will. Like if you want to put a clip on it, it should be the same, right? But I don't know if any of the hardware changes. I don't know. Yeah, there will be differences. And the scales that are aftermarket won't fit it for sure. But it will already come with micarta scales on it. So I don't know. I guess the thing to me that makes it even more interesting is like I already put micarta scales on plenty of Spydercos that have nested liners, and they do fine. So apparently Spyderco has a harder time with it than the aftermarket does, putting micarta on their knives, or they just know something the aftermarket doesn't, and for some reason this is a hazard. But I'm not afraid of it. Sorry, I haven't read a comment in a minute. Anyone know when any of the TRM knives are dropping? I don't, Mr. G and VT, but if you're on their Facebook group, that's the place where I typically see the best info getting shared about when the drops will happen. It can be a lot to keep up with, but yeah. Eric for ADC, what's up, man? Sorry, I just saw you. I saw your hello comment. Let's see. Any other questions? Love the 308. Yeah, the 308 is a tank, and it's a lot of fun. Cody says TRM had the nerd earlier. I don't know how I've never even thought of trying the nerd. Just the other day, I saw them posting about the nerd, and I was like, why have I not tried that model? I need to get one of those soon. Looks like they sold out in about 5 minutes, according to Hero Sticks. Yeah, speaking of fast sellouts, that Oz Machine Company Roosevelt thing, at expense of possibly people hearing this story multiple times now, I missed that drop technically, even though I have a spot now. I was at my brother-in-law's house and had him trying as a backup for me, and he got it, which was tremendously lucky. So I'm giving him a knife as a thank you, and I paid him for the spot immediately. So it is what it is. But those spots I was checking out in under 30 seconds for sure, like maybe 31 seconds if we're stretching it, and it was out of stock by the time I got to payment. I missed it. And so it was under 30 seconds for all 100 of those spots to fill at $500 a piece. And yeah, that's 50 grand real quick to hit the account. Yeah, Terry says in like 30 seconds. Yep. Drew says, remember when Hinderer used to randomly drop knives? That was, I still don't own any Hinderers actually, which is crazy. I've been thinking about getting either like an Eclipse Bowie or an XM18 Bowie or something. I like their Bowie blade shapes. I feel like I just kind of dig that. But yeah, I've never missed a Hinderer drop because I've never tried on one. At this point, it seems like that's kind of a thing of the past. Although certain ones move quick, like when a certain dealer will get an exclusive. I feel like I see those move pretty fast. Dude, 814, I appreciate it, man. Going for the win. I think technically, so Paul donated 15 and then 10, but I think one of them was like $14.99. Let me scroll up and see. So you might be ahead by a penny, which is hilarious. Hold on, let's see. Paul, he did $9.99. Oh, I can't go higher than that. I'll have to look after. But yeah, that one was $9.99. So technically, yeah, you're ahead by at least a penny, maybe two. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's crazy generous. I did not expect that to be a thing. And thanks again to Kyle for putting something on the line. Again, I will include one of my shirts in that package. It'll probably come straight from Teespring. I'll just get the address of the person who wins because that'll make it easier. Drew says, yeah, they were super hard to get. You once paid $750 for an XM 3-inch slicer from Japan. Ouch. Whew, that's tough. At one point, only law enforcement officers or firefighters could buy directly from Hinderer. That's crazy. Oh, Paul back in the lead. He did another $9.99. Sorry, 814. Snap, dude. This is it's getting hot in here. Oh man, yeah, this is crazy. Jordan's right. Paul says not going to be that easy, buddy. Let's see. Salt VR says he settled on a ZT. I think you mean 0560, or unless I'm not aware of a 5060 a few years back. That one is a Hinderer design. So there's the 560, I think. I want to say I even had one of those for a minute. And there's the 562, which is basically the XM18. And then there's, I think it's the 393 is the one that's the Hinderer Eclipse, basically. And I just saw the other day someone on Instagram was selling the ZT version of the Eclipse. I think it's called the 393. And they were selling it. It was a user, but they're selling it for like $150. It's a lot of knife for that much money. I was tempted to grab it myself, but I'm trying to make moves over here and get a haptic. 814 says, damn, Paul, you got to be like that. I appreciate it. Both of you. This is, yeah, you guys are crazy. It's not about the prize, just cool to help out. Well, Paul, at this rate, you're getting the prize, buddy. I really appreciate it. Stern says the OG Hinderer ZT was the 0550. I don't know what Hinderer model that was based off of, though. But that sounds right. The 392, Jordan says, goes for 800 plus on the secondary. Is that the one that they did super limited and didn't have like the G10 overlays, but is basically a 393? I think. Yeah, full tie scales and Hinderer hardware all around. I see those every now and then pop up. And yeah, that's kind of crazy. ZT566 is so underrated, says Drew. Got to take the torsion bar out, and it's a sick 3.25. Oh, yeah, that's one of the assisted ones. I never mess with the assisted ones at all. Kevin says, not about the prize as he outduels you. That's a power move right there, Paul. I dig it. All right, yeah. Let's see. 566 is amazing, Hinderer. Yeah, steel frame lock. That's interesting, but it's still under 4 ounces. I don't think I've ever even handled one of those, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan says that the 392 is super rare and dumb expensive. You can literally buy 2 real Hinderers for that. True. Yes, you can. Yeah, that puts it in perspective for you. But the collector's got to collect, you know? I feel like I've seen somebody who has like every single like hardware color that they offered on those too, because there's some with like purple hardware, green hardware, bronze hardware, and I don't know if there were different finishes, but I feel like I've seen somebody who has like 6 different ones, and it's kind of crazy. All right, guys, we're well over an hour at this point. I should probably put a wrap on it, but any last minute questions before I call this good and go finish my root beer? I've actually got filming to do tonight too. But if you guys enjoy this, then I'll make it a more regular thing. Stern, you're right. I do think Epic Snuggle Bunny had quite a few of them. That might be where I've seen quite the collection. Jordan says you could just buy Eclipse hardware. Yep, that works. Terry, thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it, man. This has been a good time. I enjoy this. I don't know. I'm not short for words. I can talk, as you guys can see. And it's fun with everybody being able to comment in. I don't know if Super Chats will still work if I do this from StreamYard, but next time I'll do it from StreamYard so I can put questions up on the screen as I talk about or as I answer the questions. Drew says, what's Snex Knives up to? Any production models coming from him? If you're talking about Snex, like the Mini Buster, there's the Wii production one that just came out recently. And then I saw on his Instagram some crazy, like, it seemed similar to a Shark Lock type of thing, the knife that he was working on, and it looked ridiculously awesome. Live Bearded Thursdays. I like it. See, Mike, I would probably try to make it a somewhat regular thing on Thursdays, but I don't want to get in the way of Bob the Knife Junkie, because he's a buddy and he does his live show on Thursday nights. So probably won't be Thursdays if I do that too often. Yeah, we'll see. We'll make lives a more regular thing, but I'll have to announce when that's going to be. I'm in a cycle now of every Wednesday morning is when my podcast comes out. So maybe I can get to a point where I just plan it and I have a certain time. Dude, Paul, you got to calm down, bro. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, man. You are seriously chipping away at the Haptic at this point, and that I appreciate. And this is awesome. 1 year on YouTube, and I'm doing a live, and over an hour, and there's 50 people watching, and all these super chats. It's just wild. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Awesome. Well, sweet. Thank you, everybody. I think we're going to call it good there. We're almost at an hour and 20 minutes. This has been a ton of fun, and we'll do it again for sure. This will not be the last time, and I guess I'll see you all on the next one. I'll be back to I didn't upload twice today because I figured 2 uploads and a live was a lot, but tomorrow there will probably be two uploads again. I've got a lot of content to get out so that I don't get behind. What's up, Arby from Scotland? That's awesome. I'm actually part Scottish. I have some Scottish roots in me. I don't know if you can tell just by looking at me. I think a lot of people, because of the beard, think I'm like Norse, like I'm a Scandinavian Viking. Maybe I've got some of that too, but I've been told I'm part Scottish. Anyways, thanks, guys. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. We'll do this again. Thanks, everybody.